morning troops. Here we are at day ticker fishery, Woodland Fisheries in Spilsby, on their Willow Lake, in search of those beautiful bars of gold that are Crucian Carp. For some of us, they're archetypal British summer fish. Hard to track down these days, but apparently there's quite a few in here, so never fished it before, so you know, first half hour of the session was spent plumbing around. It's beautiful and peaceful. It's in the woods here. There's a bit of a movement on the water. It's a natural valley and the water flows down to the bottom lakes. There's a bit of a tow, a bit of a drift on the surface the opposite direction. A little bit of bait out, not a lot. And we're going to see how it goes at first. I'm going to feed an alternative swim on the left hand side. There's some reeds. I'm going to feed that. And at the moment, it's a question of not knowing the venue really. How do you attack it? Now most people would say Crucians, you go with delicate pole floats, fish the margins, delicate gear, very fine because they're very finicky bites. And other people go the opposite way and they go the method feeder, pellet approach, and that works as well. So I don't think there's any hard and fast rule. Each fishery has their own little quirks, and the fish like certain baits in certain lakes and certain styles and others. So, but you've got to play the percentage game. So I'm fishing directly in front of me at the moment. Rod length out, rod and a half length out. Had a few little nibbles. There's a few bubbles starting to appear around the float. So I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to trickle a little bit of bait in my left hand side. There's some reeds as an alternative swim. And I might even trickle a little bit of bait in my right hand margin, which is a lot deeper than where I'm fishing now. The lake to the left is very shallow and it deepens down into the basin at the bottom. So I might even try feeding a deeper margin swim, but at the moment it looks very enticing, very Mr. Crabtree at the moment, so hopefully we're going to nab ourselves a few Crucians. Well, this is a lake in the swim. Obviously been a new water, I've plumbed it around. I'm fishing dead centre of the swim for the moment. To the left I have them reeds which I'm going to trickle a little bit of loose feed in. That'll be my alternate swim. There's my float. It's only in 3 foot of water there. Quite shallow lake. And the depth, instead of dropping the further you go out, it drops further right you go. So I'm 3 foot there. 6 foot to the right is 4 foot. And it drops down as you go into this bay where the water runs down from a natural spring into the next lake. So it's a lot deeper there. I'm going to plumb it up later. So that could be my deep margin swim for later. So always got to have alternatives, but at the moment I'm just fishing just out in front of us, fishing for crucians. Single grain of corn, size 16 hook, £4 line, straight through. Let's see what the day brings. Really looking forward to this. I haven't done any crucian fishing for a long while. Hard to find waters where there's crucians but no nuisance fish, and what I mean by that is I don't want to catch a load of carp. The last thing you want is to set up for delicate crucian fishing, and we've had in other lakes and you all of a sudden you walk into a £9 common or something, it can turn into a bit of a nightmare. There was a little bit of a twitch on that float, I hope you saw it. Let's see if we can catch some nice bars of gold today. There's a few bubbles around that float now. So I didn't put a lot of bait out there. Just a little bit. 3 small balls of ground bait mixed with pellet corn, hemp and tares. Alright troops, been fishing for a few hours now. Few finicky bites as you would expect crucian fishing. Nothing hooked, nothing landed. Speaking to the owner, apparently very underfished this one, quite neglected. So not a lot of bait goes in. So I'm hoping that they get on the bait during the course of the day. You know, they're not used to bait coming in. Maybe it's put them off a bit the initial first couple of hours, but it's a glorious day. The sun's shining, birds are singing, we're out fishing, we're in the hunt for crucians. It's been going alright. I've changed my tactics slightly. So I've had a few finicky bites. I was quite crude with my setup at first, but now I've gone a lot finer. So I'm still £4 main line, but I've gone 2.4 bottom, size 18 hook now. I'm cutting the grains of corn in half, so I want to see if there's any, if they're taking any smaller baits, finer end tackle. Hopefully the bites will get a bit better. If not, I don't know. I mean, I've got other options. I've got hemp and tares, I've got some bread, some worms. So if they're not taking corn, I might change the baits a bit up. But at the moment, happy as things are going. Fishing a new venue is never easy. Sometimes you fall in on them, sometimes you don't. So we're endeavouring to catch some crucians today, so we're going to go for it. Just going to have a cup of coffee, maybe change baits, don't know yet. I'm fishing my alternative swim now. I'm fishing tight to that little clump of reeds to my left hand side. Seem to have more bites there. I was getting bites out in the open water where I was, but I've gone textbook Crucian now. I've come in close to the margins, close to the feature reeds, which they like. Hopefully things will improve. So how you been? I mean, I ain't been out for a couple of weeks, ain't made no videos. Work. You know what it's like. You got to pay the old bills. So we've been haven't been out much, but it's now we're into May. It's warming up. Not far. 6 weeks to them old rivers and drains open up. I should be on glorious 16th. I can't wait. But at the moment, let's hunt some Crucians down. Well troops, midday, and not much joy, so I've popped down to the next lake down, the middle one. I believe it's called Hawthorn. I'll double check that. And apparently it holds Crucians as well. Oh, I had 2 bites on the other one all day. Apparently it doesn't get fished a lot. Maybe they're not used to seeing the bait. Don't know, but struggling, so hit the bullet, come down to this one. But the only problem with this one is it's definitely got nuisance fishing. It's got carp in here apparently. So I've got a nice little bed of lilies there to fish too, so I'm gonna crack on. I'll show you the swim in a minute. Let's see if we can catch these Crucians, these elusive bars of gold. Say 2 bites all morning on the corner up on the top lake, Willow. So come down to this one. Let's see how we get on. Here's the swim. As you can see, I've got a bed of lilies just to the left of me. And I'm fishing just off a single grain of corn, size 16 hook. I've gone back to 4-pound direct through. I'm after Crucians, but there are nuisance fish in here which I don't want to smash me up on 2.5 pound bottom. Nice breeze going from right to left. That same depth as the pond I just fished. There's 3 foot there where I'm fishing. That's all. I'm going to introduce a few freebies. See if I can instigate some feeding and see if we can catch us some fish. Well, we've been at it all day. What a tale of woe. The second pond, oh, I started fishing back 1:30. You know, bite every 5-6 minutes. Could I hit them? Typical Crucians, or it could be roach, I don't know, but I think they were Crucians. And run me a merry dance. So I tried scaling down, tried scaling up, tried bigger hook sizes, smaller hook sizes, bigger bait, smaller bait. Just could not connect with any of them. So I set the pole up, connected to 4 different fish, all of them bumped me. So I looked at the time and it said 5 o'clock. So I've been here 3.5 hours. It just went like that. You know, I really enjoyed myself without actually connecting to any fish. I say, you know, 4 on the pole, all bumped me off. Don't know what they were, didn't see them. Felt all right, you know, nice fish around the £1/2 to £1 mark. That's how they felt. But bumped me off. So I looked at the time and it was 4:30, and committed the cardinal sin. Tried to buy a fish, 3 big jaffers in they went, and it's killed the swim off. It's killed the swim off completely. They're just not having it now. Well, the wind's gusting across now, so I can't even use the pole properly. So I'm going to have to go back to rod and reel for the last half hour or so, last hour, in search of Crucians, the elusive bars of gold, and we ain't had a fish all day. So it's the way it goes sometimes with fishing. I'm going to crack on and give it another half hour or so. Really appreciate the views. Going to catch some fish. Hopefully, if I catch some nice Crucians, I'll tag it on the end of this. If not, thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it, troops. It's been a great day. I've really enjoyed myself without catching. Sometimes it goes like that. Well, that's the end of that chapter, folks. It was a blank, but a really big learning curve for me on a new water, and I tell you what, a little few tweaks on my rigs and my tactics, and I genuinely think I could feel my boots here with the Crucians, so I will be back. I will then have a bash at it. So the search for some Crucians goes on. That's the end of this chapter. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you tune in for the next one. See you soon, troops, and tight lines.